morning, how are you? What a beautiful morning today. It's deceptively warm, but it's very overcast at the moment. A little bit of wind, giving you a weather forecast. A little bit of wind, but we're all okay. I think we're all good for it. I'm here to see an amazing Long Barrow site, and so I parked up and met this beautiful gentleman who'd he was a painter, and he sort of looked at me because obviously I've got tattoos and I'm a bit of a hipster, and we had a lovely conversation about the area, and I was sort of saying to him I feel really sort of like I feel a bit silly really, because you know I neglected this area for such a long time, you know, but now I'm back again. I'm about to finish some more stuff off, and then as I'm recording this video, whether you know it or not, sorry again for the darkness, I'll be back again. But yeah, we're here to see a Long Barrow in this video, and I really hope you enjoy it, and I really hope you come along with me, and more importantly enjoy the history lesson.
As chambered Long Barrows go, Wayland's Smithy has to be one of the best preserved ones in all of England. Wayland's Smithy is situated near the village of Ashbury in Oxfordshire, and in the phase that you can see, it's measured at 185 feet long and 43 feet wide. It was constructed in the 36th century BC, and as was common around this period, it was most likely built by the rural pastoral farmers of the area. But what makes this Long Barrow historically interesting is that it belongs to a localised regional variant of barrows produced in the southwest of Britain, now known as the Severn-Cotswold group, which this is one of the best surviving barrows left. But what's hard to imagine is the site was actually made up of two phases, with a timber chambered oval barrow built in what is now the middle of the barrow, then a later stone chambered long barrow, which is what you can see now. The remains of 14 people, 11 men, 2 women and a child, were discovered in its first phase. And through testing, it's assumed that the initial barrow probably was only in use for less than 15 years, which if you think about it, wouldn't even be a single generation. In fact, it was in its second and final phase that you can see when the first barrow was sealed. The Neolithic community built this larger barrow on top, would have been used for burials for another 100 years. But why the name Wayland's Smithy? Well, its first mention was in AD 955, when it was labelled in a Saxon charter as Wayland's Smithy, and possible connections to the mythological metalworker Wayland the Smith. So this would all lead to the possibility that the surrounding area could have been a place for metalworking during Saxon times. But either way, this is a truly beautiful and timeless place, with so much energy that should you be in the area, it's well worth a visit, just to feel closer to our long lost ancestors.
On this walk so far, which I've just parked at, it's not a huge walk. I've encountered more characters so far than I've seen on a walk ever. There was a guy on this mountain bike, and singing to himself really loudly. He was like, "You alright?" I was like, yeah, cool. And he's like, "Oh yeah, look, you know, amazing." But sorry, Wayland's Smithy, there we go. That's what we're aiming for. Obviously it's part of the Ridgeway, but God, the amount of characters that are here, and I've seen a lot of dog walkers, and obviously as is custom with myself because I'm a huge animal lover, the dogs sense no fear with me and they come over and I stroke them and we convalesce. I actually haven't had a straight run yet. This is the straightest run I've had so far where I've not encountered people, and the funny thing is they're coming the opposite way. It's beautiful. I don't expect to sort of like encounter so many people and they're all really jovial and all this sort of stuff, but yeah, so I digress. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. So, we've made it. Oh man, I cannot tell you how amazing this place is. The energy that it's giving off is quite incredible, really. I didn't expect it. In fact, strangely to me, giving off more energy to me than it would be West Kennet Long Barrow. West Kennet Long Barrow is a beautiful Long Barrow. It's probably one of the best ones that we have. And especially when you walk in, there's this energy, and I've made a video on it already, so that was on my first trip to Wiltshire, and I was sort of saying about the smell of nag champa in the air. Whether this comes out before then or whatever, the point was, this place to me just seems to be giving off a huge amount of like energy, like really, I feel good. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, maybe it's the people I've encountered, maybe it's all that type of thing, but I thought we'd start at the tail end of the Barrow site instead of looking at the front. Just really because I wanted to try and sort of illuminate how amazing this place is, really. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk around it, and I'll get to sort of show you this incredible structure. I mean, this is really what Long Barrows look like. You know, it's quite sad, really, again, if you were to compare it to West Kennet, because really in West Kennet there's so many more grooves and mounds from where obviously archaeology's sort of taken place, and it's really sort of dented it. And again, West Kennet is even longer than this, well, just about. But here, the actual preservation of the mound itself is absolutely amazing. And again, with the marker stones, really is what we'd probably call them, really, or the boundary stones that give this incredible sort of almost pagan ritualistic nature to it. You know, the way that we have these stones laid out for us as a guide, as a path for us, and the energy that they give off. But what an incredible place. I really didn't expect it to have so much sort of energy, and like I said, it's hard to describe what I mean by energy, but it's this really beautiful sort of feel to it, you know. Obviously the unfortunate nature of these modern steps, but we will go up them. Not unfortunate, it's just, and then as it drops down in, we can have a look. So let's look at that. That just beautiful capstone on top, very like Kit's Cotty. If you're from Kent, you recognise that dolmen sort of shape, that Kit's Cotty type of shape. And as we go in, I'm really excited. Like I said, we can't really go in, but look at this. So give me a second, let me get a torch. But as you can see, people have been placing their offerings here, which is amazing. They have every right to do that, and I kind of like the idea that people do that. Let's have a look in here. There you go. That's good. Look at the beautiful transition of colours on the stones. It's interesting, when I was talking to the guy who was doing the pictures, or was taking photos, he was sort of saying to me about the idea of this transition of beautiful shading and colour that the stone gives off. I quite rightly agree with him, really. Duck down and we get in here. There you go. Look at that. It's just incredible. Again, you know, you're not going to get this is this is it. You know, it's not hiding anything that you can't not explore. But if you're a family or a parent or somebody who has kids, a place like this is amazing to come. And even if you're just a casual history lover, I truly recommend that you come here. And then not only that, but that you do go to West Kennet Long Barrow as well to discover it for yourselves. I was going to turn my torch off. That you explore both, and it gives you a really good sort of appreciation for our ancient ancestors. Yeah, it's just beautiful. There's no other way of saying it. Now so I can give you an appreciation of the front. There you go. That's really the famous image of Wayland's. This, again, very similar to West Kennet Long Barrow. These frontal stones facing, and again, if you're from Kent, at Coldham Long Barrow, for example, these front facing stones have all fallen down onto the mound. But what's amazing about this is you can see we're in a wooded area, which lays this beautiful place out. It's absolutely beautiful. And now, even though the clouds are here, the blue sky does sort of poke in and out sometimes, just to sort of remind us of nature and the beautiful summer that we've got. That we're pretty much going to have a late summer this year. I already predicted it ages ago. We had a very late summer last year, so look forward to that. The heat is out though, but what we've got to do now, I think the best thing to do is finally just traverse the top as an ode to our ancestors, and a way of just sort of leaving them, just to sort of remind them that we still care about them and we still think about them, you know. I mean, even walking across here, on top of the Barrow, I've always had an affinity of walking on top of them, because you desperately sort of want to believe that your ancestors, or all of our ancestors really, built these types of things in a way that they hope would last as a legacy for people years and years, thousands of years in the future. And I wonder what they always think. I always say this in every one that I do wonder what they'd make of us with our technology and these strange devices that we're holding in our hands to record, and our belief systems. I wonder really more question that. I wonder, you know, wonder what our belief systems, if they collide with theirs, we still believe in those types of things. Because as we always say, really, with Barrow sites, you've got to imagine that these weren't kings, these weren't people of, maybe they might not have even been people with huge wealth, but they were the farmers, they were the landowners, they were the curators, the caretakers of this landscape. And that's the most important thing. And they deserve the praise that they get. They deserve this beautiful sort of way to commemorate them. Families, like we said before, you know, in Barrows, I'm repeating myself here, bits of bone fragment and everything else that gets placed here. Not necessarily, it wouldn't have been whole bodies, it would have been bits of cremation. And then again, you can imagine when the Romans came over, that they would be quite familiar with these types of places, because of obviously our European cousins would have built similar structures. So it wouldn't have been alien to them if they'd seen these, but the stories that they could tell would be quite incredible, really. But yeah. What I'll do is I will take you for one last walk around it, now that the sun is truly shining on this spectacular place, and we can get a greater detail of the stones. Hoping the wind isn't coming out too much on this. If it is, I do apologise. I can't really do much to edit that out, so if you forgive me on that, we're all okay. You can hear nature in the background. Even I don't mind the wind. It's a distant breeze. See the whether these rocks look stones. Sorry, should I say? I don't know why I said rocks. Stones, really. I haven't actually touched one yet. I'll do that after I film. Today I'm really going to take my time. I'm really going to embrace the sort of incredible bits of history that they have here. And it's weird, I get it. You know, if you're not somebody, if you're into abandoned buildings, or if you're into World War II stuff, you might not appreciate this type of thing. But for me, this is, like I always say, it's my bread and butter. This is the thing that I love the most, especially where I come from in Kent. Really, apart from Cauldron Barrow, and then you've got Addington stones as well. Probably one to Addington stones as well. The Barrow site there, and obviously Kitscotty, Little Kitscotty, all in that vicinity. But there's nothing on this scale. Really, nothing on this scale. You can see the remnants of our modern day ancestors. Our modern day people that come here and visit. There's a bit of graffiti there. I think that says 1990. I think that looks like a 0 and a 991 there. Yes, 1990. Look at that. Just keep walking around. Just keep having a look. actually got a really nice compliment. It's probably why I feel in a really good mood today. The painter gentleman, I had a really wonderful conversation with him. He said, "Oh, I'm getting too old for this." And I said, "God, well, I'm 30, I almost said my age, but yeah, I'm a certain age bracket where I'm starting to feel it as well." So I said, "Oh, I feel your pain." And he said, "Oh, that's really impressive. You know so much about this area and yet you don't come from it." I said, "But it's about a passion of history, isn't it? You almost, if you read as much as you do and you research it really well, then it does feel familiar to you. You explore it and you know the layout inside out and it feels familiar. It feels really like you're at home." Maybe you lot out there who explore these places and you do your research and do all these types of things, the hardcore stuff, maybe you feel that as well when you come to places that you technically, you feel already like you know the place, that it's there, you know? Should we have a look? Let's do it, come on. Have one more look inside. Isn't it incredible? I will say it again, there is a strange energy about this place that I really love. It's a beautiful energy here. It's totally different to West Kennet, Long Barrow. All Barrow sites have a strange energy to them. Some of you might not feel it, but I definitely do. So it reminds me of my spiritual ancestors. Sorry, it's quite dark. I'm not going to turn my phone on again, but you get the idea. Yeah. Look at that. Detail in the colours, the greens, the greys, the lime greens, sort of hints of yellows and the lighter browns as they capture the sun. Isn't it incredible? And then obviously you've got the modern day, trying to make it a little bit more reinforced. As you can see on this side as well, they've put some wonderful stone. Actually, they've done such an amazing job, to be fair, just to fill in the gaps, to potentially stop it from caving in on itself. So they've done the best they possibly can to preserve it. But yeah, isn't it amazing? Wow. So, in the immortal words of Phoenix history, I'll see you all very soon. I hope you really enjoyed this one. We went around it a couple of times. Hopefully you got a feel of this magical place. Like I said, in immortal words of Phoenix history, because history matters. Oh, doesn't it just today? And I'll see y'all very soon. Remember to spread the word of the channel. Much love to all of you out there. I've got a fantastic support group out there, a Phoenix history community, which I love for all of you dearly. And remember, keep exploring for yourselves. That's the whole point, isn't it? It's like videos like this that will encourage all of you to go out there. Take your friends, take your family, take your girlfriend, take your boyfriend, whatever you do. But come here and make some memories. We only live once in this world, remember. Take care, everybody, and I'll see y'all very soon. Goodbye for now. Kapow.